What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the Blazers Uprise post-game show presented by Sleeper. Your Portland Trailblazers cannot win a basketball game. The Blazers lose 130 to 125 against the Phoenix Suns. This is now 6 losses in a row. The Blazers now 5 games below 500 at 23-28 as they start hot, scoring 41 points in the first quarter. Quite the turnaround from previous first quarters during this losing streak. And then their offense fades down the stretch and becomes iso ball bullcrap in the second half. As they choke a 19-point lead. It was like they never even were up 19, but they were up 19 at one point at the start of this game. And then completely collapsed. Lots of mental mistakes in the fourth quarter, lots of sloppy turnovers, lots of boneheaded plays, stuff that has started to define this team again during this 6-game losing streak. And man, oh man, this kind of feels like a bit of my breaking point. This game was absolutely brutal after the first quarter. At least the trade deadline is next. The Blazers don't play again until Friday, and they have back-to-back games against the Memphis Grizzlies, who traded Jaren Jackson Jr. today and might trade John Morant by the trade deadline. That's a tanking Grizzlies team. Maybe the Blazers can get right. Maybe you'll get Scoot Henderson back. The Blazers did get a debut from Vit Krejci today. He was not the best, but didn't really get the clean, easy threes that we were hoping for. Didn't play a whole lot. I'm going to rant today, but then we'll discuss the trade deadline. We won't spend too long on this game, but this is as low as I've been in quite some time regarding this team, just in terms of how upset I am, how sad I am, given that they were just a game above 500 2 weeks ago. And now we're 5 games below 500. The season feels like it's falling off the rails. Eric, what's going on, man? How are you doing? This game pissed me off. I don't know how you feel, but this was a very frustrating one for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Felt like a game we could have won. Is it a prerequisite to become a Portland Trailblazer that you just forget how to dribble sometimes and just lose the ball like right to the opponent while dribbling the ball up the court? And it seems to happen way too much. Like I don't recall a team having this much trouble just flat out dribbling the ball to the other team going up the court. Like, it's ridiculous.
It's quite ridiculous, man. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, all right, you got to look at the coach. You got to look at the leadership at the top. I mean, I thought they fixed the turnovers. And then in the first quarter, they have 10 assists, 1 turnover. Or at one point in the first quarter, they had 10 assists and 1 turnover. And they finished with 17 turnovers. They got extremely sloppy, and it's not even like they're turning over the ball because they're trying to move the ball too much. It's just literally ISO with 4 guys watching and no movement. The whole second half was watching Jeremy Grant and Drew Holiday and Shaedon Sharpe take turns isolating with 4 guys just staring at the ball, doing absolutely nothing. Where is the movement and the randomness that we were promised by a head coach that we will no longer name because he's under FBI investigation? Where's the randomness? The least random thing to do is to have the guy with the ball just dribble, and then turn it over. It's very predictable. That's what this team has become. And every once in a while, they'll break out of it. They'll move the ball. They'll play with some pace like they did in the first quarter, and it looks great. It helps that you make threes. It helps that you're 8 for 15 from 3. We shouldn't expect them to shoot that well. This is the worst three-point shooting team in the league. But just the way the offense completely dissolves down into super stagnant offense with the same 3 guys isolating over and over again, turning over the ball a ton. It just drives me insane, man. It just drives me insane. Like, the lack of movement, the lack of structure to this offense. It's okay running a motion offense if there's motion. We run a motion offense and there's no motion. It just makes me emotional. because it pisses me off watching the way this offense played there in the second half.
Yeah, and obviously we're missing Denny. He's a huge reason for any success we've had this season. The main reason we've had success. But, I mean, these are capable players that we had mostly in our rotation tonight. And you look across and you're getting cooked by Colin Gillespie, who's having an awesome year. Like, don't get me wrong. But, like, there's no way, like, we should feel like we like can't win a game without Denny when you look at this lineup without Devin Booker that we played against tonight.
Yeah, the defense is pathetic. You leave Grayson Allen and Colin Gillespie open all game long. They combined to go 14 for 25 from 3. 14 for 25 from 3 for their 2 guards, their 2 shooters. Credit to them. But also, oh my God, this team, the way it defended the 3-point line was flashbacks of Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals of 2019, where you just have this sniper coming off a screen, the guy guarding him dies on the screen, and the guy guarding the screener is 17 feet away. What is the result of that? You got a great shooter shooting basically practice shots from 3. And it happened all game long. No adjustment. Basically, the only adjustment is like, okay, well, you know what? We're just going to bench Klingon. We're just going to bench Klingon for the most part, you know? Never mind the fact that this team actually, let me go back to the box score. This team was a +5 with Klingon on the floor. They were a -9 without him on the floor. He plays 27 minutes, so it didn't feel like he played enough in the second half. But play him up at the level of the screen, or get players that can get through screens. It's just ridiculous to watch great shooters who are cooking us come off of screens and there's nobody there. That's NBA defense? I know there's not as much defense in the league as there used to be, according to some people, but oh my goodness, that's ridiculous. And that's how you let these guys go off from 3. I mean, I think the play that encapsulated it was, you know, we give up a bucket in the fourth quarter, and then we inbound basically to Colin Gillespie, who's not even paying attention, but the ball basically hits him in the hand as he's running back on defense. Like, and then he grabs the ball, runs behind the 3-point line, picks up his dribble, pump fakes, we fly past him, and then he has a wide open 3. Just completely ridiculous. That is the epitome of our game. Drew Holiday, a lot of dumb turnovers. That was one of them. Dude, what are you doing inbounding the ball and letting a guy get a steal when he's not trying to? He's not even looking at the ball, and you throw it into him.
Well, why do we have so much trouble inbounding the ball? That reared its ugly head again tonight. Like, it's so crazy that we struggled that badly to throw an inbound pass. It's really sad.
It's the mark of a poorly coached team.
Yeah.
I am getting to the point where I'm just out on Tiago, man, and out on this coaching staff. Because there's no way the defense should be this bad. You're letting role players cook you back-to-back nights. Letting role players just destroy you. Okay? Like, the defensive intensity is not there. Phoenix is a team that plays hard defensively. Okay? The Blazers do not consistently play hard defensively. They don't. They don't. The broadcast tries to make it out like, oh man, this team doesn't quit. Look at how they came back at the end of that fourth quarter. That's the sort of the attitude they carry. This team does not play hard defensively compared to your average NBA team. The Suns do. Why should the Suns be a better defense when they have starting backcourts of Devin Booker, Jalen Green, and Colin Gillespie, and Grayson Allen, and I think Klingon should be a better defensive big than Mark Williams. Mark Williams doesn't move particularly well. Mark Williams didn't want to go out and guard Klingon at the 3-point line, even after he made 3 in a row from 3.
And on the other end, he's not a stretch big, so you don't have to guard him. So, why can't we guard the perimeter?
Phoenix is 8th in adjusted defensive rating. The Portland Trailblazers are 18th with Drew Holiday starting, with Donovan Clingan starting, with Tamani Kamara starting, Jeremy Grant started today. You got Robert Williams off the bench. Sidney Sissoko's supposed to be a solid defensive player. Where the hell is the freaking defense? It's inexcusable how bad the defense is with the players that are on this roster. And at some point, you have to look at the scheme or look at maybe they're not consistently playing hard enough or maybe they're confused as to their rotational responsibilities. Regardless, at some point you got to look at the coaching staff and say, you are not getting enough out of this roster defensively. They are massively underachieving on the defensive end. That's not a Denny being out issue. Denny being out affects the offense tremendously. But the defense, you still got great defensive players and you can't freaking defend anything. You let Grayson Allen and Colin Gillespie go 14 for 25 from 3, and you just refuse to guard them. It's asinine to me.
Do go.
What'd you say?
Oh, I didn't want you to stop. You're on a roll.
I don't know, dude. I'm legitimately mad at what we're seeing. I thought we turned a corner, man. And it's like, okay, yeah, Denny hurts the offense, but also the freaking defense. You just gave up 40 points to Jared Allen in 30 minutes, and then you come out here, they're missing their best 2 offensive players. They're missing Devin Booker and Jalen Green, and you can't guard a 3. You literally cannot guard a 3 from good shooters.
Well, what happens is, Drew's guarding Gillespie, and he passes, and then Drew turns around, and Gillespie just moves 5 feet to his left, and then Drew has no idea where he is when the pass goes over his head, and he's wide open, and no one's able to get out on him in time, just falling asleep. And then there was a play shortly after that where Clingan was on him, got him to pass, and then the ball got reversed to the other side, and Clingan told, I think it was Tamani, to go out and get Gillespie while he went and got someone in the corner, and whoever he pointed to just stood there, and they swung it back to him, and he hit a wide open 3. And then and then the stupid drop scheme. It's just, at some point, I'm so sick of the zone and drop scheme giving wide open shots to shooters, and then us, like you mentioned, not adjusting at all or changing our game plan at all. It's infuriating, man. It's really tough to think that this is going to get better on defense magically if they don't figure out a way to stop shooters coming off screens and to just play better on the perimeter.
We've seen lately that their strategy is to let solid 3-point shooters shoot 3s. And in the game, the strategy wasn't necessarily to let Colin Gillespie and Grayson Allen shoot 3s. They just did. They just let them. They just did a terrible job of guarding them. But we've seen Josh Hart, who's shooting 40-ish% on the year from 3. We dared him to shoot 3s. And then on the other end, we're the worst 3-point shooting team in the league, but we shoot the 3rd most 3s. If your game plan going into a game is, okay, we're going to have our bad 3-point shooters shoot a lot of 3s, and they're solid to good 3-point shooters, we're not going to guard them, and we're going to let them shoot a lot of 3s. The math is not going to work out in your favor. That's just straight up bad math. It's just straight up bad math. It's crazy to me to see this team prioritize the 3-point line on offense and not prioritize guarding it enough on defense. When every single game they are playing a better 3-point shooting team than themselves.
Yeah, here's the excuses. The players aren't talented defensively. Tamani is good. Perimeter defenders aren't. Drew is still hurt.
Yeah, okay, bro. Drew was out for 10 weeks, okay? He should not still be hurt. Stop with the excuses.
Also, he was out. He was out last game for personal reasons, not injury reasons.
Yeah, he wasn't out due to injury. He's been back. He's been playing. You have Robert Williams playing. You have Jeremy Grant playing. You have Donovan Clingan playing. City Sissoko's supposed to be solid defensively. There is no way with a straight face that you can tell me the way they just completely let Colin Gillespie come off screens completely unguarded and shoot wide open threes this entire game. You can't sit here and tell me, oh, that's just because a couple of guys came back from injury a couple of weeks ago.
Ori Shaham says, guys, 6 games ago you said sign Thiago to a 6-year contract. Now the team star is injured and you say fire him, relax.
Never said that. Never said that. So don't put words in our... No, I'll just straight up say, do not put words in our mouth or you will be banned. You do not need to make up stuff that we say to have a debate with us. If you feel the need to have to make up what we say to have a debate with us, then that means you aren't confident in your own ability to debate what we are actually saying. So nobody ever said 6-month extension for Thiago. I gave them credit for how they were playing at the time.
Dude,
they have not sustained that, and they are terrible right now. They just lost to the Wizards. They just lost by 30 to the Knicks. You're playing a shorthanded Suns team. They're without their best player. Are they making excuses? No. And you had a complete anomaly of a first quarter where Donovan Clingan goes 3 for 3 from 3, and then his 4-3 he had a foot on the line. So he made a really long 2. He was basically almost 4 for 4 from 3. Robert Williams hits a 3, and Blake Wesley hits a 3. They were... Like, the first quarter was a complete anomaly with how well they shot the ball. And it didn't even matter. Did not even matter. They should not be playing some of the worst defense in the league with this roster. And if you think they should be, then you really have no faith in this roster. And you should probably be blaming Joe Cronin then.
And you know what? I have been pretty consistent every time we talk about Thiago, like whether he should be the coach long term. I've said every time, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but what do I say every time? Let's let this season play out. There's no reason to make a decision now, right? Like, let's see how this looks for 81 games or like through the course of the season. I have not at any point said, yes, Thiago is our guy moving forward, sign him to a 6-year contract, or no, he's not our guy. Like, I've been pretty clear on that. He's going to get the rest of the season no matter what we say or do. So, like, just give him the season. Let's let it play out. It'll be pretty clear, I think, by the end of the season. But I have never once, and I don't recall Tori ever saying anything about wanting Thiago to be our long-term coach. Like, we're still jury's out on him for the most part, right?
Yeah. I mean, this is why I should never give a coach credit, because then people think that means I think he should get a 6-year extension and I think he's the king. That was the other comment in chat. You guys thought he was king because we gave him a little bit of credit because the team was playing well? Brother, what are you on about? What are you on about? At the end of the day, this team has underachieved defensively all season long. During that stretch where they were winning games, they were doing it a lot with their offense. They were winning some close games too. Their defense was solid. It was like borderline top 10. That was the expectation for the defense on the entire season. Okay? And nobody thought we were crazy for expecting that out of the defense this entire season. But when your scheme is just to play 15 feet off a screen when a lethal shooter keeps flying off the screen for wide open threes, and you just let it happen over and over again, what do you expect? And then you put Jeremy Grant on guards, and he dies on screens. And they come off screens, off ball screens. They're wide open because Jeremy Grant can't get through a screen for his life. Guess what? When you're running drop, the guy guarding the ball has to get over the screen and chase them downhill towards the dropping big man. But what have we always said about Jeremy Grant? He really struggles getting through screens. That's why we don't like when he guards guards. He had a play today, Eric, where he got screened and just folded like a lawn chair. Do you know what play I'm talking about?
Who was it?
Jeremy Grant.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just got hit and, like, crumpled to the floor. I thought he was hurt. No, he wasn't hurt. He wasn't hurt. He's just Jeremy Grant trying to deal with the ball screen. So, it's crazy to me how coaching staffs can't see, oh, yeah, well, Jeremy Grant guarding a ball handler on the ball is not effective. He doesn't stop guards. He doesn't slow down guards at all. We have a large sample size of this. We've seen it. So I just, the defensive game plan is just like, let's run drop no matter what. And then we run more drop than any team in the league. Let's run drop no matter what. Let's not mix up looks at all. Even if a guy's cooking us, let's not adjust the scheme. If we're going to adjust, we're going to run a 3-2 zone and have our bigs try and chase corner shooters, which is even worse. Right? So that's the defensive game plan. I honestly think Chauncey would be getting more out of this defense right now. And you know me, I wasn't the biggest fan of Chauncey at all. But I think he would be getting more out of this defense. He got more out of this defense last year. They were the 13th best defense. How are they 18th best now? They traded Anthony Simons for Drew Holiday.
Chauncey didn't do a good job of not running zone or not relying on the zone, and also not running drop either. Like, he didn't really have much to go to other than those two things as well. It might have been different this season, I guess, but he also struggled in those regards, so I'm not sure if it would have.
Yet they were even better than they are this year.
Yeah,
with Donovan Clingan as their starting center, with Drew Holiday instead of Anthony Simons defensively. Why were they better last year than this year?
Well, I mean, they did get incredible 3-point opponent percentage. Usually that's somewhat luck-based.
Their opponent 3-point percentage was 15th in the league.
I'm talking about like
that's this year.
Last year was the 2-month stretch. It was one of the best.
Yeah, but on the season they were the 13th best defense, and teams had the 16th. Their 3-point. Their opponents hit 36.1% of their threes against them last year. Mm-hmm. This year it is 35.8%. So it's 0.3 percentage points lower. So that can't be.
But I mean, they were terrible defensively for a while.
Yeah, but still on the season last year, they were like, these are just season numbers. They were.
But you're asking me what was different about the defense being good last year, and it was even better, but they really, that stretch where they were a top 3 defense or whatever, really it was almost primarily due to the other team having no 3-point percent left.
They don't do a good job protecting the rim. Teams shoot. They're the 20th. The Blazers are the 20th ranked team in rim percentage defense. Last year they were 7th. They deter more shots at the rim, but that's like the shooting difference, because there has to be a number that correlates with the Blazers being worse statistically defensively, right? Like, these stats pour into that number. Okay, so that's one. Okay, that should not be the case though. It should not be the case though. That's wild to me. Okay, the other one, the Blazers have gotten better not sending teams to the league, but they're the 27th ranked defensive rebounding team. They
gave up an offensive rebound off a missed free throw too in this game.
They were 28th last year. I think, you know what I think the rim percentage is? I feel like it's the Blazers' turnovers bleeding points in transition is part of that. Because the Blazers this year are 29th in turnover. Last year they were 29th in turnover percentage. This year they're 30th. A lot of stuff is similar, but the rim protection's worse. I don't really know. Yes, all these things were problems, but I feel like they consistently played harder last year once they went on that stretch. Like the second half of the season, they really picked things up, their intensity. This year it's like they played super intense defense at the start of the year. The intensity feels like it's gone. The intensity feels like it's gone.
We've talked about this before, Tori. The zone defense and drop coverage is lazy defense, and it leads to being very hard to get energetic about playing defense when you're just constant. Like your plan is to give
But they did that
certain
last
players
year.
certain players wide open threes. I know, but I'm saying like I don't know.
I don't know.
They
I don't know. I don't know what the difference is. Like, they should have been better defensively this year, and they're worse. They still have a lot of same flaws that they did under Chauncey, but I feel like Chauncey, even though he's running a lot of drop, running a lot of zone, I feel like at least second half of the year, like, they flew around. This team doesn't fly around. This team, like, looks tentative about, like, oh, should I fly out of this guy? Should I rotate? And then they do, and then they're a step late, and then they're overextending on the closeout, getting beat, and then it's a scramble to the point where, like, nobody knows who the help side guy is. Like, they collapse defensively. It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. You let them shoot 52% from the field, 49% from three. They didn't even get to the line. They didn't even hit free throws. They were 10 for 15. But you forced 11 turnovers. You don't force turnovers. You give up 18 offensive rebounds. The defensive rebounding has to get better, and it's not. The defensive rebounding is... Like, the Blazers do a great job of offensive rebounding themselves because Klingon's a beast. CS is all right for in this game. But that needs to be an advantage for the Blazers. Against a team that shoots 49% from three and 52% from the field, you should not be giving up 18 offensive rebounds. You should not be giving up 5 offensive rebounds to Jordan Goodwin in 23 minutes. That's ridiculous. Like, Mark Williams getting 6, okay, it's a big man. Like, they should get the most offensive rebounds. How do you give up 5 offensive rebounds in 23 minutes to Jordan freaking Goodwin? You know what that says to me? The guys on the perimeter don't do a good enough job boxing out. Don't do a good enough job keeping guys off the boards. Don't compete hard enough on the boards. Jeremy Grant was freaking pissed me off with some of his effort on the boards today. He had 2 rebounds in 33 minutes.
What was up with that rebound that Rob Williams got, and then all of a sudden, I think it was Goodwin had the ball and laid it in.
Brought it down and wasn't strong with it. We're weak. We're weak with rebounds when we get them. If we get them, guys on the perimeter don't do a good enough job putting bodies on guys. There's so many guys guarding shooters on the three-point line, okay? A shot goes up. They don't look for the guy on the three-point line and try and get in their way. No, the shot goes up. They just kind of watch, and then the guy from the three-point line runs past them. And then people are like, oh man, Klingon's the ball's hitting his hands, but he's not getting the defensive board. He's such a terrible defensive rebounder. Yeah, he could be a little bit better on defensive boards. But he's also battling amongst 3 guys. Guys are not helping him out enough. The effort in the little things it's an effort in little thing. Boxing out, being competitive on the boards for the guards. We're not even giving up offensive rebounds because we're trying to leak out and run. We don't run much. We try to, but we don't. In this game, how many fast break points do we have? We had 8 fast break points in this game, right?
Well, how many turnovers did we average last year?
It was 15.8, and this year it's 16. Let me see. This is percentage.
Also,
this year also 16. Last year it was 15.1.
I mean, that's not a drastic difference, but I mean, more turnovers equals usually more runouts and things like that. So,
yeah.
Dude, what is wrong with people, Tori?
A lot of things.
Man,
a lot of things. Chat's gonna.
What? Why? Why do people say stuff, dude?
What'd they say?
This I do a mirror person.
What'd he say?
He said, that's not the point. Tori and Eric don't understand the extent of Denny's contribution to this team. What the hell are you talking about, bro?
That's rage bait. Don't even get it.
No, he's been talking about it this whole time. He's a Denny fan. This
is why player fan groups suck. This is why player fan groups suck. And I can't stand a single player fan group. There's Denny fans that I like and get along with, but there's some Denny fans that are ridiculous. This is one of them, okay? I literally came on here last post-game show and was like, this offense can't do a single thing without Denny Avdia. There's a reason why he has one of the highest on-off splits in the league. But because we're talking about the defense struggling, which it shouldn't with the players that were left, that's the comment? No. See, that's just completely unreasonable. Like, I don't know what else you could want for me to sit here and say when I come on post-game streams when he doesn't play and say, this team desperately needs a healthy Denny Avdia. Like, you are not being serious. Like, that's the problem.
Watching a different stream. Are you watching a different post-game and, like, blaming us for it or something?
This is the thing with player fans, man. It's like the second you criticize or the second you even question somebody's favorite player where they are just all out a fan of no matter what, they become completely unreasonable. And they lose any semblance of logic. Some people, when you just don't say enough positive things about that player often enough, they take that as a slight. They take that as hatred itself. You didn't say enough positive things about him. Oh, Denny, you haven't talked about how important Denny is enough this stream, even though you did it all stream last stream. You're not understanding how much he contributes. Like, that's the way player stand groups are. That's why I've pissed off Denny fans, even though I've praised him as much as any player. Like, that's why Sharp fans don't like me. That's why Reddish fans didn't like me. That's why Mellow fans didn't like me, because I will never make it all about one player, and I will never just completely praise every single thing a player does. And that's why every player stan group is what we call them. That's why a lot of them don't like me. So you can think I don't understand Denny's impact. That's completely fine, but that's blasphemous.
Also, I mean, Denny didn't play in this game, and we still should have won. It's not like we can't do anything without Denny, but that's not criticism of Denny not being a huge part of this team. He's our best player by far, and we would not be on a 6-game losing streak right now if he didn't get hurt. So, like, I mean, it's just a weird thing to say. Wow, timing out Trevin.
Yep, timing out Trevin for 24 hours. I'm not putting up with Trevin today. Like, I will go out there and say I think this is probably a bottom 5 team in the league without Denny. They've played like it. But the defense should not be this bad. The defense should absolutely not be this bad. Anyway, we got some trade deadline stuff to talk about, so let's get into the players. Who do you want to start with?
Let's just go down the list.
All right, Jeremy had 23 points, was 8 for 15, 3 for 7 from 3, 4 for 6 from the field, had 4 assists, 3 turnovers. I guess he played well, but it kind of felt like he didn't because of how much the offense was dying with the ball in his hands.
Yeah, he took some bad shots, but overall, I guess 23 points on 15 shots is efficient. So felt like some of his turnovers were killer. We had, 3 people in our starting lineup with more than 3 turnovers, and then Rob off the bench with 3 turnovers. It all just kind of added up. I guess it wasn't like one person's fault, but yeah. I mean, he was all right, but like you said, it felt like he had a much worse game than that.
Earlier in the season, he was playing a lot in the flow, like catch and shoot threes and attacking closeouts and getting straight to the rim. And we were enjoying the style of basketball he was playing. Without Denny, it's just a product of the offense, I think, how much he's isolated.
Yeah,
we saw it earlier in the season. He was playing well in the flow, and now it's just everything dies and somebody has to create. This is the problem with the offense that I've talked about so much. Like, the movement is only sparked by dribble drives. They don't move if the ball's stuck on the perimeter and the defense is set. They don't. They are waiting for the guy with the ball to get a step on his defender, and that results in ISO dribble, trying to get a step on the defender. That's the result. That's what we saw the fourth quarter especially. It was brutal in that regard. So, yeah, I mean, I kind of want to blame Jeremy, but it's a product of the offense.
Yeah, I mean, this offense just has no movement. And when they were moving in the first quarter, like, they were both moving and passing well, and it led to a lot of wide open shots. And there was one where Donovan had like a no look bounce pass to Tamani, who had a nice finish on a nice cut down the middle. Klingon also threw one over the top to Jeremy, who was cutting baseline. I think he might have got an and one on it, or it got fouled or something, but led to points. And it looked like they were moving a little bit in the first quarter, but then when the offense devolves into just, okay, Jeremy, your turn, dribble out for 10 seconds. Shaden, your turn, dribble out. Drew, you haven't dribbled for a while. You try to go 1-on-3 and make something happen out of nothing with non-shooters spawning up around you. It's just like it doesn't seem creative. And then so I wouldn't say, I mean, we'll talk about him more in a minute. I wouldn't say Blake played bad or anything in this game, but when the game slows down and he can't use his speed like in a full court situation to get an advantage or getting downhill, when he's like starting from 0 and trying to get to 60 in the half court, it just isn't as good as when he's flying around in the open court. So that doesn't really help our offense too if it gets bogged down to like a half court offense and we're not running any sets and we don't have players that are capable of running the offense that we need them to run if we're not going to run any sets.
Yeah, we don't have enough sets. Shaden Sharp, 19 points, 7 for 16 from the field, 2 for 8 from 3, 3 for 3 from the free throw line, 1 rebound, 1 assist. He was a +7. He was a +7. What'd you think of Sharp today?
I mean, he was okay, I guess. It's just another game where I felt like, I mean, the dunk was awesome, obviously. Was that in the fourth quarter? But like the game was already feeling like it was slipping away at that point, even though they had the fake comeback at the end. But man, it feels like he's either like, and I say this about Jeremy too, like it feels like they're monopolizing the ball, or it's like, where the hell are they? Like, you know what I mean? I mean, going back to what we were just talking about, Jeremy, I don't necessarily know if it's the player's fault in this situation, because I mean, we're not doing anything to get someone going or like free them up. Like we're barely running many like pick and rolls or basic things either. So I don't know, man. It feels like part of the game I'm thinking, wow, they have to rely on him to create offense out of nothing, and this isn't good. And then the other half of the game, I'm like, where has Shaden been the last 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Like he hasn't touched the ball or whatever. It's like, it's so weird.
But every game, there's a decision or a misread he makes that drives me insane, dude. I'm actually gonna bring it up. I'll actually put it on the screen. Okay. Eric, I don't know if you remember this play, but remember Donovan Klingon was, we thought 4 for 4 on 3. One was a long 2 in the first quarter. If you look at the paint, there's 3 Suns defenders. There's one on Shaden. There's one guarding the far side corner. And if you look at Donovan Clingan, there's nobody within a mile of him. Do you remember this play, Eric?
Yeah.
Shaden bricks a fadeaway mid-range jumper. Dude, he's driving that way too. He's literally driving that way. How does he not see him? How does he not see him, Eric? Like, there's just something every game that's just inexplicable to me. Like, how do you not make that pass? I get it if Klingen's 0 for 3 and you really want to shoot a mid-range jumper. He was 4 for 4 on long jumpers in the first quarter. He was on fire. And just, nah. Nobody on his side of the entire floor, we're going to shoot this. And we're going to brick it. Like, it drives me insane. It drives me insane, man. This team doesn't play smart basketball.
Yeah, well, Drew had one of those too where he looked right at him, had an easy kick out to Klingon with no one within 10 feet of him, and he decided to throw cross court to Shea, who was being guarded, and then Shea shoots, and there
was a few times this game where it felt like, man, Klingon was on fire from 3, and now nobody wants him to shoot any more of them. Like, it felt like they were freezing him out. But yeah, like, that's the thing. Even in games where he makes shots and people are like, you should be more positive about him, it's just plays like that drive me insane. And there's always stuff from a game where it's like, why in the world are you just not making the simple pass to the guy that's 4 for 4 on long jumpers and you're shooting a step back, fade away, 17-footer? Just make the easy play, dude. Like, that's not even... Taylor says he doesn't have good basketball IQ, unfortunately. That's not even basketball IQ. That's like a... That's a vision issue, or that's a him just like, nah, I'd rather shoot this myself. You know what I mean? Like, that's beyond like basketball IQ. That either he just has that bad of tunnel vision that he literally didn't see that, or he saw it and was just like, I'd rather shoot a mid range. I'm gonna try and get myself going. Which do you think it is, Eric? Like, I don't know. Like, maybe he's trying to get himself going, but...
Yeah, I just think it's so, like, the offense is so predicated on these guys. That's why Jeremy...
Oh, you got collab cam twice in, like, a minute. Sick.
Scoop maybe will
say
help.
that again? You got collab cam twice.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So this
the
offense is predicated on guys just pulling stuff out of their butt, right? Like, just like making something out of nothing. So hopefully we're supposed to get Scoot back. I'm assuming he's got to play one of the 2 games Friday, Saturday. Has a couple days more to get back into game shape before then. I'm hoping that Scoot can come and fix this, but this is the problem. It's this type of offense is like known to not work when defenses ramp up, the pressure gets tighter, the coverages get stronger. Like when you go into the playoffs and are in a series and teams are adjusting and stuff like that, you have to be able to have some sort of offense. So the hope is that Scoot and Denny type players, and I think they were hoping that Sharp would be in this group too. Unfortunately, he's not really, but the hope is that those 2 guys can just create enough offense to where we're getting good looks just because of their ability to get paint touches. But when we're missing both of them and we don't really have a guy that's capable of doing that outside of hunting his own mid-range bad shot if you can't get to a rim, like both Jeremy and Shaden did multiple times in this game, it's not a good offense for them. But I think both of those guys, it looks worse for them because they're being told they have to get to the paint and get shots, and we need them. Remember Chauncey last year saying, "Oh, it's my fault for telling Jeremy that he needs to shoot tough shots," or whatever. Was it Jeremy or Shaden? I forget who that was about, but Chauncey literally said, like, we need to take more tough shots because that's what creators or like shooters do, like, or scorers do, right? So like it just feels like this whole offense, like Shane's he's not aware enough. He doesn't have that's why I think it goes back to, I agree with what Taylor Packer said, because like you tell him, hey, we need you to get to your spots and make some shots this game or whatever. And so Shaden, that's all he can think about then is like, oh, I need to score. We don't have Denny out or whatever. And I feel like it's
Yeah.
it's just leading into him. I just don't think he's capable of like, if that's what he's being told, like, I don't think he's really capable of seeing the open guy. Like,
That's a really bad red flag, man.
Yeah.
Though, like if you're told be aggressive, be a scorer, like get your shots, that shouldn't stop you from making that pass that I just showed. That's such an obvious pass to make. That is beyond obvious. Kobe would have made that pass. Like,
I know a lot of people have made this joke, and I know and Greg just made another joke about it. I've heard this. A lot of people think it's his hair blocks his vision, which it does kind of. Oh, like I wonder if he got like a high fade or something. Like if he'd be a much better basketball player.
Like if that's if that's the case, that's still such a huge red flag that it's like, if the hair is affecting his vision and he doesn't actually do something about it, like, dude, what are we doing? Are we playing the game just for aura, Is that what it's all about? I don't know. But like that's just, there's just always something where it's just like completely inexcusable to me to not make just the most basic of passes. There's another one he had Klingon on the roll and had like an easy lob to him in this game, and like nobody was around Klingon. He turned around and dribbled it out, and it's just like, dude, these plays aren't even that hard to make. That's the issue I have. It's just like not making the basic plays. I'm not expecting him to be Magic Johnson. So, yeah. Anyway, you were saying.
Timeless Production says, why does it feel like Shaden doesn't try hard enough? I don't know if it's like an effort thing, because like he wasn't good defensively today, but like you can tell he's trying on that end. Like he's at least going for steals and stuff. But I just think it's a more mindset thing, like body language too, maybe. Yeah.
Did you ever clarify Sharp being trade eligible or just July 1st? Keith Smith fixed spot track. He is trade eligible.
Yeah, thank you, AJ.
Yeah, as I thought. So he who must not be named was wrong. Interesting.
Wait, who?
Oh, didn't someone say the team told him he's not trade eligible? So either the team has no idea, which is the reddest of flags, or the other guy was making it up. I don't know. Has to be one of the two. So
yeah, so
he is trade eligible.
Yeah. Multiple people, including myself, tried tagging or I replied to several of Keith's messages trying to get his attention. I also messaged Spot Track, and it was freaking AJ who got a response from it and got it fixed. So props to AJ.
Yeah, props to AJ. Anyway. Let's move on. 7 for 16 doesn't do anything else. 1 rebound in 31 minutes. Eric, that's that. How many of? Okay, I need to go back and look at how many of Jordan Goodwin's offensive rebounds had Shea on him. Shea needs to help out more on the defensive glass. There has been some games where he has, but like he's so athletic, he needs to attack the defensive glass a bit more and just help out in that regard because he is capable. Oh, I can't. NBA.com's broken. Won't show me Jordan Goodwin's 5 offensive rebounds. Oh yeah, it will. Okay. Yeah, I gotta see this. Oh, one of them was okay. The first one was Klingon helped and Tamani was guarding Goodwin. And Tamani went and like battled the big on the boards that Klingon left to go defend the shot and Goodwin cut. So like, just there's nothing wrong with that. Like Tamani kind of got manhandled by the big a little bit, but no blame there. The second one is literally the same play. Oh, because Jordan Goodwin got 2 offensive rebounds in a row. That's what happened. I mean, that's the stuff that's inexcusable. You can't let a guard get 2 offensive rebounds in a row. Like, you gotta go rebound. Third one. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Some of this is just kind of like broken stuff. Oh, when he's shooting free throws and nobody defends shooter. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Is that the one they hit the 3 off of?
Yep. That's ridiculous. Tomani needs to do a better job there. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Sometimes I just feel like we're not strong enough, like with our positioning on defensive boards and like catching the ball and like chinning the ball and just stuff like that. But anyway. You look at starters and it's like Jeremy, 33 minutes, 2 rebounds, Sharp, 31 minutes, 1 rebound in a game where we struggle to get defensive rebounds. Like, I don't know. Let's talk about Drew. 15 points, 6 for 12 from the field, 1 for 5 from 3, 5 assists, 5 turnovers, 3 steals. Like, he was fine except for the turnovers. The thing is like, I feel like he does dribble too much. Yeah, once again, it's a product of the offense.
Yeah. When it's multiple guys we're talking about, that it's a problem with the offense.
Yep.
Ball sticking too much.
Yep.
He was really bad on defense today, though. But
his defense is not particularly good anymore. I'd trade him in a heartbeat at the trade deadline.
He just kind of coasts, like.
Yeah. I'd trade him in a heartbeat at the trade deadline, to be honest. I know Dan wants to play with him, but this dude is not the same. And he's not defending the same. And next year he's going to be another year older, and he's still going to be making $35 million. If a team wants him for an asset, it's kind of dumb not to. You got Scoot coming back. I don't know. He hasn't been particularly great defensively, which is really disappointing. Really disappointing. Klingon, 14 points. He had 11 in the first quarter. He was 3 for 3 from 3 in the first quarter and shot 1 3 the rest of the game. We talk about him maybe shooting too many threes. This game he didn't shoot enough. Because the 4th 3 he was in and out. In 1 3 he had his foot on the line and made that one. So it was insane to me. Like, they started playing him out on the perimeter. That should have resulted in us being able to get a lot at the rim, and we didn't take advantage of that.
Yeah, I thought the first quarter, at least, Clan came out with that kind of edge that he'd been missing for a while, and maybe that's just because he hit the threes, but he was a beast on the boards. Like, he had a couple blocks, really nice blocks, good timing on them. One they called a goaltend that I thought was pretty close. But he was getting to offensive rebounds. Um, he was a beast in that first quarter. Now wait for Kirk to say, "Oh, he got killed this game by Mark Williams." Um, yeah. I thought he was pretty good in his minutes. Maybe not as good in the second half, but um, I liked the attitude he came out with in this game. I think that's what's been missing a lot from his game lately, and he seemed to be really engaged. And maybe that waned a little bit in the second half, but I thought this was his best game in like probably like 10 games or so.
Yeah. I don't know.
And for the record, Taylor posted a quote from Colin Gillespie. Was asked what got him going tonight. He said they were in drop coverage. We just set high ball screens and came off them shooting.
Yep.
Yep.
There you go. There you go. I mean, we've talked about this for years, man. We've talked about this for forever. When you as a shooter know that there's not going to be whoever's guarding the screener is not going to be there at the level of the screen, and you can just run your guy off that pick, and you know you're going to be open. It's just like running drills, because they drill this stuff. They drill these running into these threes like this. It's literally just like practice shots to them. They shoot them with full confidence. Like, they know they're not having to think about where the guy defending the screen is. Like, that's the thing. The Blazers run so much drop. Teams can just come into games and be like, okay, they're going to run drop scheme. This is going to be there. I don't think you can just rely 100% on drop or zone. And this team does. And this team tries to. Like, Klingon last year had, occasionally they would play him a little higher, and he had some good moments playing at the level of the screen. Like, doesn't even have to be a hedge. Like, if it's just a soft drop, like if it's a show, you can play close to the level of the screen. At least like maybe get a hand up on these shots, but play far enough away where he's not going to be to the rim. And if he can't do that, then I mean maybe we have a Klingon problem just in terms of him only being able to run drop. But like also, guys don't do a good enough job running over these screens, locking and trailing. They run right into the screen all the time. They get picked off. The guys guarding the ball don't do a good enough job at running drop. And we run too much drop. And the result is that.
Do I have a question for you?
Yep.
Knowing what you just said, why the F did we draft another center who is even worse at that and can get on the perimeter even less than the center that might have a problem and not be able to do that? Why on earth would we think that that would be the best thing to do for this roster last year? Could you please answer that question, somebody?
I can't answer that question. And right when they took
because he makes cool Jokic like passes, even though he had like a negative assist to turnover ratio. Yeah.
It's so
and this is why we had such a problem with Young. It has nothing to do with him personally. It's just it makes no sense a year after drafting Klingon to draft a center that you cannot play a different scheme with. And that's why we've had some success with the combination of Rob and Klingon this year in different games, but you cannot have it to where that's the only thing you can do because someone like Colin frickin' Gillespie is going to cook you.
Yeah, I mean, I think they run too much drop with Rob in the game. They still run a lot of drop with Rob in the game. So that's the thing. Like, you gotta adjust, and that's I don't know, man. It's like they don't even trust Klingon to show a little higher, even though he with his length, he doesn't have to show super high to defend these threes.
It's just don't be like 15 feet behind the screen. And the other thing is too, if you're close enough, you don't have to necessarily show or hedge, although I would like to see that every once in a while just to throw a shooter off a rhythm so he's not just coming off, all I have to do is set a high screen like Gillespie says, and bam, we're wide open for a shot. Like when other teams know that's all they have to do to get a wide open shot, your defense absolutely sucks. And you don't even have to show or hedge. even though I would like to just throw him off every once in a while. But if you're just close enough to, like, for a big that could possibly block that shot, it not only hesitates the guy from shooting right away sometimes, but it also allows that extra second for the guy to get through a screen, your other defender. And that is the difference between getting a wide open three sometimes and getting a contested three, or maybe even a block from behind like Thibault used to do. And it's crazy, man. It's crazy that, like, we can easily see this, but like the Blazers just continue to run this crap.
Yep. And their defense sucks because of it. So cool.
And they built the whole roster on defense, and it's getting absolutely
supposed to be
cooked.
their identity. That's the scary thing. This is supposed to be what they're good at.
I think your phone is close to your mic.
It is. You're right. This is supposed to be what they're good at, man. I don't know. They're not good at anything. It's Denny's good.
Oh, I apologize. Jan Hansen made the Rising Star game. He's obviously a star.
Yeah. Of the G League. He's a G League star.
Playing like 4 games in the G League.
Check out Shea's defense, just 0 effort, allowing 2 wide open threes. Can you tell me which threes they were? Because I'll look it up and look at the tape and tell you if I think you're right or not. Because I don't remember what particular threes. If you can give me a
He's talking about one where he flew out and then it was on a pump fake and then jumps past the defender. It's not necessarily Shea. Like a lot of the Blazers do that.
Close out.
Yeah. I mean, that happens a lot to a lot of teams, but
I mean, Denny will do that too. Like everybody does that. But yeah, okay. Tamani had 13 points in the first quarter. You know how many points he finished with?
Pretty close to 13, if not 13.
Literally 13 points.
Wow.
Played 38 minutes. Had 13 in the first quarter. So that means at least the last 26 minutes he didn't score. He is too inconsistent offensively. And when he goes on these runs where recently he had a game. How many games ago was that? Against the Knicks, in 26 minutes, he did not score. Okay. So 2 out of the last 3 games, he's had at least a 26-minute stretch where he didn't score. The thing is, like, the next game, he only shot 4 shots in 26 minutes. Like, he didn't shoot a single 2. Like, okay. He was 5 for 13 in the Cavs game, 5 for 12 the Suns game. Not even, like, terrible offensive games.
Mm-hmm.
But he was great in the first quarter and didn't do anything. He wasn't a threat. He still took shots. He even, at times in this game, became a bit of a ball stopper, trying really hard to turn the corner off the dribble. That's the issue with the offense that I've talked about all season long. You got to turn the corner off the dribble to make anything happen. Otherwise, you're stuck. And you can't have a guy that has these stretches where he's not a threat. I mean, he's just a streaky shooter. But also, it's like when you don't have motion, that's the type of guy that's not getting like easy buckets off cuts or, alley-oops, cutting baseline and getting going that way and then getting an easy 3. He got some easy 3s in this game that he missed in the second half. But, yeah. Just his floor is too low offensively.
Yep.
Okay. The other starter. Oh, we talked about all the starters. Okay, off the bench, Robert Williams, 14 points in 19 minutes, but he was a minus 15. So I don't know. He had a great statistical game, except for the plus minus. Don't really know what to make of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he also had 3 turnovers.
Yeah.
I don't know if that one counted as a rebound and a turnover, or if it was just giving an offensive rebound to Phoenix. But yeah, I mean he was all right.
I mean, statistically off the bench, we were fine.
Yeah.
I mean, Sissoko, 21 minutes, 12 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, 0 turnovers. Was 5 for 9 for the field, 2 for 6 from 3.
Couple air balls.
I mean, yeah. But, 6 assists, no turnovers, 5 rebounds, 12 points, 5 for 9 for the field. Like, that's a good game.
I did like his Denny drive where he got into the body and knocked, I forgot who it was, out of the way and dunked it. Yeah.
He did have 4 fouls in 21 minutes, so shout out to the city fouls. Blake Wesley in 20 minutes, 10 points, 4 for 8 from the field, 2 for 4 from 3. Like, okay, nice that he makes a couple threes. Doesn't really do that. 4 assists, 1 turnover. Like, solid game for him. I will say this, Eric. Something I thought was asinine in this game. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier on the stream, but I want to make sure I mention it. I thought it was crazy that we're down 10 with 5 minutes left, and we have a lineup that includes Robert Williams, Blake Wesley, City Sissoko, and Tamani Kamara.
Yep.
We
had very little playmaking in the game. Yeah.
Very little shooting. If you're trying to come back from a 10-point deficit in 5 minutes, you need some offensive firepower out on the floor. And they're running that lineup. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, we got the ball down 4 at the end. Didn't put in a 3-point shooting lineup or anything like that.
Yeah.
Let's make it so. But
we're gonna get to the 3-point shooter we traded for. Blake, solid game. Nothing much else to say. His pace was fun. He didn't really make any mistakes today. It was fine. Vít Krejci, 14 minutes, 5 points. 2 for 7 from the field, 1 for 6 from 3, 1 assist, 2 steals. He missed some threes. There was a couple grenades he got, so that's part of that.
Yeah, I felt like he was trying to force a couple threes up there.
Yeah, he's new to this offense, right? I'm gonna give him a pass. I do think his defense looked okay today.
It was all right.
2 steals in 14 minutes. Stuck with a couple guys off the drive. Yeah.
I like the floater he hit, and I like the pass. I think he had to Jeremy, who missed a lay-in.
Yeah.
But
you can see it. He has games where he's 3 for 6 from 3 and 4 for 7 from the field with what he did today, and it's just really good bench piece, right? Just didn't hit the threes today, but
someone's saying there was an issue with a couple of his flights, and he missed 1 or 2, and then got delayed, and then only had 2 hours of sleep prior to the game, so going on all adrenaline for that one.
Yeah, not gonna worry about him being I thought we got him to shoot. I see a comment in chat saying that guys, he's shot above 40% from 3 the last 3 years. Trust me, he can shoot. And 1 bad game in his first game as a Blazer after all that, is not indicative of who he is as a shooter. Just relax. He'll be fine. He should have played more. I thought he should have played more. In a game
maybe it's just tough to.
Yeah, but going forward, he should be playing more minutes.
Yeah.
You just need the shooting, especially when Tamani goes completely absent offensively. I don't hate putting Krejci there. I know he's not the same defender, but we're not defending anyways. Might as well have some shooting that can get hot and change the complexion of a game. So, Vít looks longer than I thought he would. Yeah, he's 6'8". That's why I liked him. 6'8" sniper. And yeah, when he has Denny throwing these passes out to him, just wait. He'll be fine. Caleb Love, 8 minutes. 0 points, 0 for 2 from 3. 1 turnover. Looks like he's the next guy out of the rotation. When Scoot's back, Scoot, I think, is going to be back next game. I don't think Caleb Love's going to play. Blake Wesley's ahead of him in the rotation.
Yep.
What were your thoughts about that?
Um, I mean, we end up coming out of the gates shooting really well, so I guess we needed more defense than offense in this game. But turns out we need both, Tori.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
I don't know, man. But yeah, I mean, we've been talking about this all year. We've had several players in our rotation that on a good team would not be in a rotation. So
and we're getting
uh,
closer to like if Scoot's back and Denny's back next game, whose minutes are getting cut? Sissoko's and Caleb Love's and
yeah.
some of
Well,
Blake's
until
maybe
they
because
make
you
a
also
roster move.
also if you're wanting to play Krejci more, like the four guys off the bench once Denny's back and Scoot's back, I think will be Robert Williams, Krejci, Grant, Scoot, and a little bit of Wesley.
Mm-hmm.
That's your 6 through 10, and there's no room for Caleb Love or City Sissoko there. So comment in chat. I don't know if you guys saw the one play where Drew drove in, lost the ball, called for it back, and drove in and made a bad pass out to Time Lord. I feel like Drew just ain't it. Yeah. I don't know. He's playing really good at the start of the year, though. So,
I mean, it hasn't been back that long. Yeah, I don't know.
and also, who knows what the personal reasons is. His name's been in trade
Yeah.
rumors. He was caught saying to Mikhail, worst time of the year regarding the trade rumors. Like, uh, I don't know, man. He's supposed to be better than this, but he was better than this.
He's older, hurt, and yeah.
I don't know. Like I would trade him at the deadline. I'm completely fine with that. He's not a great off-ball player, and his defense hasn't been good enough this year. But I just think they have this vision of like Dame and Drew as if it's 2018.
Yeah. Hey, we have an opportunity to do something really funny.
Do we?
Yeah. We'll talk about the trades later, but now that a certain someone has been traded, we could technically trade Drew back for that person.
That's funny. Oh, I gotta thank some donations. Shout out to Braden Tennis. He dropped 2 donations in a member message. Braden, I hope you're still watching. I'm sorry it took so long. I was ranting and I completely missed this. I compare this loss to the Wizards loss. How the F do we play so good in the first and to choke like this in the second? Well, that's what we do. Thank you for the $5 donation. That's what we do. We go on runs and then we. Yeah, I don't know. Very frustrating. Shout out to Braden Tennis with the $10 donation. He was rage donating. I love it. Sorry, I was ranting and didn't read these earlier. Says completely unacceptable. First Allen a career night. Now Gillespie. WTF? I am depressed. I swear this team is better than the record shows. I just wish we were healthy. Yeah, it's fun watching role players go off for career highs, but that's what the Blazers do. You know, you remember Yogi Ferrell? That's what the Blazers have always done. Shout out to Braden Tennis, member 4 months. Says sorry for the rant. Love you all. Go Blazers. No, I love the rant, especially when it comes in donation form. I was ranting. I'm pissed. I'm tired of losing. I'm tired of this crap. You got 2 back-to-back games against the Grizzlies. You better win both. They better win both. Shout out to Germ TTS. So with a $5 donation, says this team does not need to be chasing a playing spot. These bums don't need experience. These bums need to be replaced with good players. Priorities. I mean, you got some good players coming back, but I don't know, man. Like Jeremy and Drew making $70 million combined in a game like this, where they weren't even like statistically terrible, but just the style of play with them was just rough. Is I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it.
Well, combined 8 turnovers.
Scoot needs to be traded, says Gabley Jones. Yeah, that's who the problem was today was Scoot. You're right. Great stuff, man. Yeah, let's trade low on the guy that's about to come back. If you can get Giannis for him, or if you can get a trade that's worth it, yes. But I don't know why y'all come in to say Scoot needs to be traded when he hasn't played this season. It's kind of strange to me.
Marv asks who on the Grizz going off for their career high. Let's wait to see who's actually on their team before we guess that. We'll have to guess once we see their actual roster, because I think it might look a lot different in a couple days.
Yeah. Trade Drew for Darren Sharp and MPJ. Why would the Nets do that, man? Let's do a tankathon, then let's talk trade deadline. Trade deadline being less than 2 days away.
So,
we're tied for 10th.
Yeah, Gregory's mentioning Stephen Vaughn in chat. Man, I didn't know he was such a Dame hater.
What do you mean?
He's just so I listened to the show he's now producing, and he's always making little shot comments about Dame.
What did he say?
Well, like yesterday he had some comment they were talking about the Giannis pipe dream, and if Giannis would be the best Blazer player ever. And he said, well, in terms of longevity, the only one you could compare is Clyde. And then he said, if you're just talking peak, it would be, you could include Walton, but there's no other Blazer you could even consider. And then he's always making comments like, well, they got a guard back, but he doesn't play any defense, and so I don't know how that's going to help him next year and all that kind of stuff. But of course, Gregory thinks he's right.
Steven, it's hard to be a player that Steven likes. I don't know. Steven doesn't like guards that struggle on defense, though. At least he's pretty consistent in that. Even if I think he's too hard on Dame, like at least it's something he's consistent with.
Mm-hmm.
Because he really didn't like Ant.
He was saying that that he was told that this team is not going to be considering any of Dame's thoughts or feelings, or they're not going to be building around him moving forward. They've made it very clear to him that that's the case, but that still doesn't, I mean, it'd be one thing if they were trading for Drew and Jeremy at the deadline or something, but they're already on the team, so it's not like they have to make moves to get those guys. Like, they're already here, and so I don't think it's that big of a stretch that they just keep them to have a somewhat legit chance next year of making a little bit of a run, not like a championship or anything, but like just
we better be in the freaking playoffs next year. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say. All right, let's do take. No! Shout out to the premature soundboard there. Blazers tied for 10th best odds. Let's go, man. Let's freaking get it. We're only 2.5 games out of 8th. In 3.5 games out of 7th. And Utah's going to tank the rest of the year. They got Jaren Jackson Jr., though. So we're only 7 games back of them, you know? Anyway.
Well, Jaren's barely going to play the rest of the season.
I know. Let's simulate this and hope we get lucky. All right. At 14, we have the San Antonio Spurs. At 13, we have the Chicago Bulls. At 12, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder. At 11, we have the Charlotte Hornets. At 10, we have your Portland Trail Blazers. At 9, we have Milwaukee, which is good. I don't want Milwaukee to get a top 4 pick after they trade Giannis to the Timberwolves. We'll talk about that. At 8, we have Washington. At 7, we have Brooklyn. At 6, we have Indiana. And at 5, we have Atlanta via New Orleans. So neither Milwaukee nor New Orleans picks are top 4. Atlanta gets screwed. At 4 is Utah. At 3 is Dallas. At 2 is Memphis, which means the number 1 overall pick goes to Sacramento. All Western teams in the top 4. By the way, anybody that's like, oh, you guys said you do a mock draft today because you lost to the Suns. We're going to do it this weekend. We talked about that last stream. Just when we have more time. But I'll probably go to the game on Friday.
Trade deadline.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anyway. Well, that's quite a sim. Alrighty. So, trade deadline. There was some stuff that popped off today.
I made the joke. Did the trade deadline get switched today? Because, jeez, like, did every team feel like they had to make a trade today?
Yeah.
The last couple of days? Like, man.
Yeah.
Leave some for Thursday, please.
I know. For real.
Gosh.
For real.
I was like, at one point, this was before the Harden trade, I was like, can we please stop making trades today so we have something to, like, live react to?
Yeah. I mean, I'm probably on that Thursday stream. I'm probably going to be doing, like, some stuff for work. FYI, while we wait. And, you know, I'll pop in to react to stuff. But that's kind of going to be my approach. Assuming things don't get crazy. What's the chances on Blazers trade, y'all think? Like 50-50.
Yeah, I still think they're working to make some small trades in their roster to promote guys.
I could see us being like Jaden McDaniels and Nas Reed.
Yeah.
For $2 picks.
That would cost us all 3.
I don't know if Nas should cost 1, and I don't think Jaden should cost more than 2. We have the leverage. Do we have the leverage there?
Yeah, but I think 3 picks for both those guys isn't enough.
$3 picks for both of those guys isn't enough?
Well, the Bucks picks is different, but I mean, those are...
I think you're talking
2 of them are swaps. They're not necessarily full-on first.
Yeah, but they're getting their draft. They're getting their draft rights.
Yeah.
Back. Yeah, I mean, we talked
well,
about this.
On 2 of them. The 2028, they don't fully get it back. But.
Well, no, we just traded the 2028 best of Portland and Milwaukee straight up to Milwaukee. And then trade 2029 and then keep the worst 2029 pick and then trade, rescinded. It'd probably be something like that. And then keep 2030. I don't know. Or trade 2029, trade 2030. Something like that. But yeah, Jaren Jackson Jr. So the Jazz, I mean, I kind of see the vision with Keontae, Ace Bailey, Laurie, Jared Jackson Jr., Walker Kessler. They've been terrible defensively this year, but they haven't had Walker Kessler, and you combine Jared Jackson Jr. with Walker Kessler in the front court. It's pretty intriguing, and you got some offensive firepower there. Like the Jazz could pass up the Blazers next year.
Maybe. I mean, Jaren Jackson Jr. has to prove he's healthy. I was a little surprised. Well, that's true, but I was a little surprised that Utah gave up draft capital for someone like Jaren Jackson Jr. But yeah, that roster is shaping up to be a pretty solid nucleus.
Yeah, and then we had Anthony Simons get traded to the Bulls after he's talking about, I was happy to get traded here to a playoff team. Gets traded for Vucevic, basically straight up.
Well, he's guaranteed to be in the play-in if he stays in the play-in.
Yeah, it's something. I mean, he might get rerouted. Because then the Bulls also traded for Jaden Ivey. That was a what the F type of trade. Jaden Ivey for Kevin Huerter. Kevin Huerter's been good this year, but he hasn't shot particularly well.
No, is it like 30%, 31%?
But like he has been known as a shooter, so I guess you're banking on that.
Sometimes.
I like the Bulls taking a chance on Jaden Ivey. I just think they need to trade Kobe White.
Yeah. Well, did you hear the Timberwolves in that trade? The Bulls said you can have Kobe White as part of this trade too, and the Timberwolves declined it.
Weird. Because they're trying to get Giannis.
Yeah, because it would have messed their cap situation up. But
yeah. And then what was the final trade? Harden for Garland happened. The Cavs are in very win now mode, and that's the only thing that justifies the trade because Harden's been a little better than Garland, and Garland's been injury prone.
The only thing that makes sense to me is if Garland's toe is like, they think it's like going to be a condition that plagues him for a while, and the Clippers were like, we see the value in taking that risk, and
they didn't want to pay Harden.
Yeah,
I like I like setting the clock younger for the Clippers.
Yeah, I think that's a good risk to take. I think that in the long run, that's a good trade for them.
Yeah,
I'm just shocked that like Cleveland couldn't even get like a first or like anything for Garland. Like that just seems kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, when's the Clippers' next tradable first?
The rumor is he asked the Clips to extend him, but that was proven to be stupid because multiple Keith Smith and Bobby Marks both said that he was ineligible for a contract extension right now, so it didn't matter if he asked for that or not.
Yeah, he probably wanted a verbal, like you probably wanted him to verbally say, "Yeah, we will."
But remember what happened with him and Morey that last time that he got a verbal?
Yeah.
Because he took less money to stay there, remember? And then they promised to take care of him at the end of that contract, and then they didn't, and he got screwed. So
those were the trades that happened today. Kind of some wild stuff. And then on the Giannis front,
oh man, dude.
If he was open to signing an extension with the Blazers, he would be a Blazer. I'm fully convinced.
Well, I don't know how accurate any of this is, but apparently the Bucks do want to do right by him and send him to a place he wants to go to. So unless he says he wants to come here, which I guess is kind of included with what you said, but unless he specifically gives the okay, it sounds like they won't consider trading him to a place, which is very weird considering that whole argument we had for months with Dame, and so like if we owed him any part of that as well after what was promised to him. But yeah.
Okay, well, they're not going to get back as much value as they could get, and those Bucks picks will be really, really good, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But also, there's a part
that's why I said just don't help facilitate anything.
There's a part of me that says screw Giannis. There's a part of me that's salty about it. He wants to go play in Minnesota because he gets to play with Ant. Dude, I think they have to trade Randall, McDaniels, and Naz Reid to generate the value that's necessary to get Giannis in a trade like that out of other teams. Like I think Giannis gets traded there in like a 3 to 4 team deal, and they're trading those three out. Who do they have left? I think Gobert's a terrible fit with Giannis. He can't make a shot outside of 5 feet, right? And then who's your fourth best player? I guess you still have DiVincenzo there. Who else do you have? That's 4 guys.
Well, they'd have, I think part of the reason that you have to send out those 3 is because the extra value would be taking Kuzma's contract off the Bucks' hands as well.
So, like Kuzma, okay. I mean, is that much different than Dame and Giannis? I know Ant's better than Dame was, but like some of the same like coexisting things that people try and say plague Dame and Giannis would probably still exist. Gobert's your third best player. Kuzma and DiVincenzo are your fourth and fifth best player. That just seems like a very top-heavy team without the role players necessary to like be that much better than what they are right now. Like I honestly think the package that Portland would put together, the result would be just as good of a team around Giannis as what the Timberwolves would / maybe will be. And that's the part that just annoys the hell out of me.
I don't know, man. I think if you're just looking at it like Anthony Edwards and Giannis, that's a pretty dang good duo.
Yeah, but duos don't just win in today's NBA. Or else, Luka and LeBron would have won it all last year, right? You need depth. You need role players. There's so much offensive talent in the league nowadays. Like, yes, that's as good of a duo as there'd be in the entire league. Maybe they can carry a team. But when Luka and Kyrie made the finals, it was because Luka had perfect lob targets, perfect big men alongside him. Right? That was a huge part of their offense was you had Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively. You need good role players, and that team just feels top heavy. I'm sure they'd have a plan to try and fill out the rest of the roster, and if they could, then yeah, that's a contender. But I don't know, man. I feel like the Blazers would be a contender too. And it's like if you're willing to go to Minnesota, cold Minnesota, why wouldn't you be willing to come to Portland to play with Drew again, to play with Dame again? Like, you really want to play with Anthony Edwards that badly? And also there's a report like he cares about the narrative of where he goes. Like maybe he doesn't want to go to Golden State and get some of the stuff that was said about KD, said about him, which like I get, but and we've talked about this. He cares about the public narrative. Coming to Portland and like if you actually got Portland somewhere, like I think Portland would be a contender with him. Like that'd be great for narrative. I think that'd be great for narrative. Like. So it just bugs me that he seems completely unwilling to come here. Honestly, if it's Minnesota and like he's saying like, no, I'm not going to immediately sign an extension, but Portland kind of feels like, okay, maybe we could convince him. I'd still probably take the risk, especially to keep him out of Minnesota. But if the Bucks are just trying to do right by him, then I mean, Portland doesn't really hold the power there. Milwaukee can choose to take a lesser package to do right by Giannis. The good thing for the Blazers is then they keep the Bucks picks, and if they get a lesser package, those Bucks picks are probably going to be better. So that's just the dynamic at play. It's just frustrating to me. Like it feels like everything has aligned for the Blazers to get Giannis after I've dreamt about having Dame and Giannis in Portland, and we got Dame back, and everything's aligned for Giannis, and he's just like, nah. It kind of bugs me.
You know what bugs me?
What's that?
I wake up pretty early in the morning. I always check Twitter or whatever when I wake up, and I see, latest intel from Shams. Giannis likely to be traded by Thursday. And then, go work for a little bit, check Twitter again after a couple hours. Latest report, Bucks unlikely to trade Giannis before Thursday. Every day this week, it's been the same thing. Like, Miami Heat front runners for Giannis. And then 2 hours later, Golden State Warriors front runner from Giannis. 2 hours later, Minnesota Timberwolves now in lead position for Giannis. It's like so stupid. Like it just keeps on getting recycled. It's not like it's like new information is coming out or something. It's just like the same like three people just keep changing what the story is like multiple times a day just to keep it relevant or something. And it's stupid. I'm so out on the Giannis discussion until actually something happens. I'm just like not going to believe anything is true right now, because we also heard just 2 days ago that Giannis or that Dame and Drew were like talking to Giannis and trying to convince him to come here. Yeah. So how do you know those guys can't succeed in doing so?
Well, I think it's that they failed to do so is kind of what it sounds like.
But I mean, it's still like, let's say the Bucks decide they don't like any of the packages from Miami and Minnesota. Like, could that come back into play at some point? Like, the Bucks say, "Hey, look, it's either we take this. Portland has the best offer. We could take this, or we could keep you till the summer. What would you rather do?" Like, maybe on Thursday he's like, F it, trade me to Portland and I'll figure things out from there or whatever. But like I don't really get why this is like reminding me of like LaMarcus Aldridge brain into a Giannis trade situation. Like, it's like he doesn't know what he's doing, right? It's like everything's wishy-washy. He has no idea what's going on. Every 5 seconds he changes his mind and wants something different, or wants to go to a different team or wants to stay, or like I don't know. It just I think I don't know. I still think a lot can happen in the next 36 hours or however long it is till the deadline.
Yeah, I do have a slight gut feeling that a certain team might come in out of nowhere and trade for him.
Cleveland?
Yeah, Cleveland.
Well, yeah, it's not a gut feeling that was reported.
I didn't see the report.
That was the whole point of the Harden trade. It made just enough room or something to possibly trade something else out for Giannis. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't hear the report, but like it makes sense.
And then they're talking about signing LeBron, and so they'd have Harden.
I saw that
LeBron,
brought
and
up as like a
Giannis.
hypothetical, but it was just like that was a Haberstro hypothetical. But I thought that was just kind of like stuff tossed at the wall. But I do feel like there's some.
No, that's like the only thing that like people were saying that this was the Harden thing was setting up another move that they weren't done, and that most people are speculating that they're going to make a run for Giannis. In which case, I would definitely make a run at Mobley.
Well, I mean, their package would probably be Mobley plus Jalen Tyson plus their 2031 first plus swaps in 2030 and 2032 to Milwaukee.
Yeah, they have to include like Strus or someone too, but
Yeah, I would love Jalen Tyson here. You know me, I'm a big Jalen
I
Tyson
forgot Tyson
fan.
and Mobley for the three.
Yeah, like would the Bucks take Jeremy Tease, Rob Will, the 3 Bucks picks, a 2031 Cavs first, and then 2 swaps for Giannis? That feels kind of light. Like it feels like they could get more. Well, they get their own first back, so that's something. But like if they wanted just volume of first, they could get more first out of a Minnesota trade. They could probably get 1 for Nas and 2 for Randall and 2 for McDaniels at least, just by flipping them elsewhere. But like Mobley, yeah, Mobley intrigues me, man. Mobley intrigues me. Like I would be down to trade Drew somewhere else. Do that trade for Mobley. Start Kamara at the 2, Denny at the 3, Mobley at the 4, Klingon at the 5 with Dame, and just like go all in on the defense 2 through 5. You got, Denny, Mobley, Dame offensively. Like you got Scoot and Sharp off the bench. Right. Got the offensive firepower off the bench that can sub in. You could honestly go with some 3-guard lineups too if you wanted to, if you have Mobley and Klingon at the 4 and 5. And Mobley fits the timeline. I don't hate that being a guy I give up multiple Bucks picks for.
Yeah.
Maybe you give him a little bit more offensive responsibility, and if you're Cleveland, like you're trying to get LeBron in the offseason for his farewell tour and have like LeBron and Giannis and Jared Allen and Harden and Donovan Mitchell. That'd be quite the team. So, boss on JT Toppin. I mean, I don't think his game translates too well to the NBA level. To be honest, I've always kind of felt that way about him.
And Mike, you might have missed it earlier, but we'll talk more draft after Thursday when the trade deadline's over, and we can focus more on the draft instead of all these trades.
Yeah. I mean, anything else? We'll go live tomorrow if there's like substantial rumors or like a fun trade to talk about, but is there anything else you want to like talk about Blazer-wise, trade-wise?
Yeah, I mean, I still expect them to make a couple small moves to free up roster spots.
That would feel kind of like a buzzkill at this point, even though I said
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. But I mean, if they were able to find a team for like a Chris Murray or Ryan Rivera, that would be It'd be a win, right?
Yeah, if they could trade Chris Murray for nothing, I'd be cool with that.
Get his contract off the books next year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd be cool with that. Although his contract might be nice as a salary chip next year, this offseason going into next year. I don't know, man. I mean, we'll see. This team could do anything. Like, I thought it could be a potential Jaren Jackson Jr. suitor, but that didn't happen. But there's already been so much random chaos, like today, especially. In the Krejci trade, I was like, that's the shooter I want. They should trade for him. But, like, I didn't expect it.
Yeah.
That was kind of random. Trae Young to Washington, like, developed over a couple days, but that was weird.
Yeah. Washington of all teams.
Yeah.
They didn't really get much for him.
What trade am I forgetting? The trade that made the most sense was like, oh, the Kings of course they're going to trade for DeAndre Hunter. That's the trade that felt like it made the most sense. So nothing has really made sense so far. The Harden for Garland stuff, like, who saw that coming?
That was so weird.
Yeah. So who knows what could happen in the next couple of days?
Alex Wolf, I think, needed to be talked off a cliff earlier.
Yeah.
He has no idea what. He texted me earlier asking, does Kobe Altman know he's being fired? Is just like messing the team up before he goes? I'm like, dude, that wouldn't happen. But like,
Yeah,
I could see why you're upset, but like, no.
Hey, man, he's going to have Harden, Donovan Mitchell, Giannis, LeBron, and Jared Allen.
Yeah. They might have to trade out. Maybe not.
Nah, Mobley, just Tyson, and another salary. Well, next year. I think LeBron will be next year.
Yeah.
Cheap contract. Farewell.
Yeah, imagine if LeBron gets traded. That'd be so insane.
Yeah. That would be insane. But, yeah, we'll go live tomorrow if it's worth it. I mean, if the Blazers make a trade, we'll go live as soon as we can. We'll see.
Kirk, no, don't.
No, we don't want DeRozan, man.
Yeah, they're talking about that if I guess DeRozan and the Kings already worked it out to where if they can't trade him by Thursday, they might just buy him out and let him go where he wants to go. So
yeah, I can see him going to the Clippers. He feels like a Clippers guy.
Yeah.
Going back home to LA. But yeah.
But
we're back to Toronto.
Yeah, well, Toronto, so that trade so now there's a rumor that I think it was Chicago, right? Did Chicago get a big TPE?
I don't know.
I think it was there was a team that so the holdup for Sabonis to Toronto has been that for the Kings didn't really want to take back Pirtle, but one of the teams today created a TPE that was big enough to. Oh, Memphis, yeah, Memphis. That's who it was. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. So apparently they could be the team that takes on Pirtle to get that trade over the top.
Yeah. Sorry, I just saw a tweet talking about how Kling got played off the floor tonight. And he was a +5. I don't know.
Who tweeted that?
Blazers lead.
Yeah.
I mean, their point was drop coverage has been brutal, which it has been, but he's not getting any help from his teammates and their ability to navigate screens. I mean, that's a good point. But like, yeah, their drop scheme is getting cooked in a game like this, but if it's getting cooked, like, let Klingen fail trying to run something else. Like, that's the thing. If you're trying to run something else and he can't, like, show near the level of the screen and recover well enough to the rim, then you can say he gets played off the floor. Then you can say, okay, he's not able to execute this. But when you don't even try to do that, I don't like it looking at it like Klingon got played off the floor. I'll look at it like this coaching staff just doesn't want to do anything else defensively.
Opening night 2019-2020 season, I was there in person, watched Hassan Whiteside on multiple times hedge a screen and recover back to Jokic beautifully. And everyone was saying you can't hedge with him or you can't show and recover with him. And I watched him do it in person perfectly first game, and then the rest of the season do nothing but drop coverage and never saw it again the rest of the season. It's like you said, sometimes you just gotta let it play out. But even if it doesn't work, I still think running a player off a screen so he's not just thinking, oh wow, all I have to do is set a high screen and I'm wide open against this stupid ass drop coverage. I still think that that's better. Even if it doesn't work, it still will throw them off a little bit. So maybe the next time they're wide open, they have to think about it for a second before, instead of just like, oh, there's a screen, I'm going to be wide open curling off this.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's hard to consistently hedge in today's NBA with all the shooting and the way teams can kind of zip the ball around.
But just throw a random one out there.
But like as a wrench, yeah, like throw a wrinkle in for a couple possessions, like throw a different look out there. I'd rather that be the wrench that they throw in than a 3-2 or 2-3 zone or whatever the hell. So, like, I think the main adjustment is you play Klingon near the level of the screen, close enough to like actually bother a three, but far enough off that he can recover to the rim and not get beat. There has to be some sort of middle ground there, and they need to start messing with that. And if not, they're probably still going to continue to struggle defensively, especially when you're going against a backcourt with two lethal shooters at the guard spot. Like this, the Blazers do not match up well with the way they play with the Phoenix Suns. They don't.
Well, that's without Booker.
Yeah, that's without Booker. So, anyway, 6 straight L's sucks, but you know what? We got the Grizzlies next, man. We should be favored in that game. Maybe Denny will be back for that game. Maybe Scoot will be back for that game, so that should be fun. And you play them back-to-back games, and then you play the Sixers on February 9th. I mean, Embiid misses random games, so who knows then. And then February 11th, you play at Minnesota, so we'll see who they have. And then rounding out the All-Star break at Utah. So please go 4-1 before the break. That would put them at 27-29. I'll accept that.
I don't have any faith that they can win 4 out of 5 right now.
I think they could. Like at Utah, if the Blazers are healthy, and then 2 home games versus Memphis post-trade deadline, like they should win all 3 of those games. And then split between Philadelphia and Minnesota. Minnesota. That's the tough one. But, like, you can beat Philadelphia at home if you're healthy. I mean, they've beaten better teams at home, man. So just go 4-1. That'd be cool. 5-0. Let's get back to 500. God, I can't believe I'm saying we have to go 5-0 to get back to 500. We're just a game above 500. Oh, we're always chasing 500, man. Drives me nuts. I was hoping we were past that. Why did I do that to myself? Anyway, anything else, Eric?
Thanks everyone for watching. Hope you have a good night. Hope to catch you on that trade deadline stream on Thursday morning. For those, let's just promote it once again. So early in the morning, I don't know what time. Do you have a time you want to start?
Like 8ish. We'll see.
Around 8 o'clock, maybe a little after 8. We'll be on all the way
between 8 and 9. Like when something happens, that's generally when we're live. Yeah.
Till about an hour after the trade deadline, just to recap everything that happened and
we'll
make
have
sure there wasn't any
feeds
last
on the
time.
screen, so you don't have to go on Twitter and keep refreshing Shams tweets. We'll put like Shams, Mark Stein, and I don't know, Chris Haynes or something like that up there.
We should put was just for that.
Yeah, we can see Woj tweet about St. Bonaventure. So yeah, that's what we'll have on Thursday night. But I'm tired of the Blazers losing. At least I'll trade the lines next. So at least we get a stream that's not going to be after the Blazers losing. And if we get another trade in the next 2 days, at least I won't be in the car trying to talk about it, even though that was a nice little switch up. But yeah, I mean, this team is changing a lot, even without any more trades. You got Krejci coming in. You got, hopefully Denny comes back healthy 100% at some point soon. And then Scoot. Excited to watch him play, man. At least we get some Scoot basketball.
Yeah.
Before the All-Star break, about damn time.
Yeah.
We'll have a 5-game little ramp up. I mean, I think that's a good little stretch before the All-Star break to knock off some of the rust. Because we're going to need them, man. We're going to need them. Anyway, appreciate you guys tuning in. Shout out to Sleeper. Use promo code Uprise on Sleeper. You'll get a free $20 deposit and a 100% deposit match up to $100. Use that promo code Uprise. Got the Super Bowl coming up. You can do Super Bowl parlays. They're going to have fun. They're going to have fun stuff on Super Bowls, prop bets and stuff on Sleepers. So make sure to check those out. And then parlays, picks, all that good stuff. So NBA basketball as well, college basketball over the All-Star break. We're going to watch a lot of college basketball. We're going to do a mock draft this weekend, so now's the time to get in on the action with college basketball as well. And we'll be live again if the Blazers make a trade or Thursday night. Or not Thursday night, Thursday morning. If there's a big NBA trade, if Giannis gets traded Wednesday night, maybe we'll just go live to talk about that. And talk about how I might boo him next time he plays in Portland for not wanting to come here. Come on, man. Come on, Giannis. We're ready to embrace you. How could you say no? But yeah, we'll be live. Hopefully they can turn things around because the losing is brutal. We're out of here. Maybe the Blazers will think twice about running drop scheme all game and letting 2 shooters in the backcourt go 14 for 25 from 3 next game so that they don't end up 6 games below 500. Because tired of the freaking losing. We're out of here. Have a good rest of your morning. Shout out to the late tip-off times. And we'll see you next time. Until then, as always, peace out. Go Blazers!